Hi, it's Pat here. We're going to take a look today at your chimney. We're going to look at some simple, basic fundamentals of chimney maintenance and repair. First of all, we're taking a look here at a brick chimney. This chimney is probably 45 to 50 years old. We'll look first at a really important part of the chimney, and that being your chimney cap. This cap is connected to this terracotta flue. Your flue liner runs down through your chimney and into the hearth box, and that's the pipe that takes your smoke up and out. Now this chimney cap here, what you see is it has, first of all, a good solid metal top on it, and that helps prevent animals from getting in, rain, downdrafts, which can be dangerous, and direct downdrafts in through the fireplace and sparks out into your house and dust. This screen here acts as a spark arrestor. This minimizes these sparks that come up through your chimney flue and out onto your roof or into trees or any types of situations like that. Next, we're going to take a look at the top of the chimney. This is very important because this is where the water can work its way in at your first access point. Right here against this terracotta liner, if you come in a little closer here, we're looking at some cracks here, some cracks up here. We've got some mustard mold up on the top of this cement cap. Typically they want to put a rounded edge like they have here, but just time and the elements have worn it away to some extent. The ideal way they do these is they'll do a perimeter about 2 inches high and about 2 to 3 inches out, and that helps direct the rain down and away from the chimney structure itself. What happens over time is you wind up with wear in your mortar joints. If you take a close look here, you'll notice some of them are really opening up, and this is all areas where water will soak in eventually, and can lead to mold, mildew buildup inside of the chimney area and also down into the firebox itself, down into the hearth area. Some of the maintenance that we see that needs to be done on most of this type of a chimney structure, this one in particular, is going to be this top cap. All the cement areas should be cleaned with some type of an antifungal product. A bleach will work, but you're better off with an antifungal, and wire brush this, get all the loose masonry product and dust off there. Step 2 would be to seal all these cracks with a good moving masonry caulk, and also around the perimeter of the terracotta flue liner. That would prevent more of the water from seeping down in there, especially during prolonged heavy rains where it's just a saturating all-day event. The next step you probably want to take is to have this either power washed. In this case, it would probably be power washing would be the best option. Any of these joints that are open for more than about 1/8 of an inch should be sealed with some mortar. Fill these mortar joints, cracks, holes, whatever the case is. And then the next step you'd want to do is seal this entire structure with a good masonry sealer, penetrating clear masonry sealer, and pretty much you want to do 2 coats on this, and that generally will get you about 5 years of good waterproofing capabilities. Okay, now we're going to take a look at the back of the chimney at the base where the roof line and the chimney structure itself meet. You'll notice on this one there's first of all it's a metal pan roof, and it's had a lot of dirt and debris. We just cleaned this off. You can see this is just wet dirt, and it probably hasn't rained in over a week. That buildup here, the acid when the leaves break down, will cause deterioration of these sealants and these different products they've put on here over time. But this is just some type of a white latex sealer they've put on here. You notice they do have some nice counter flashing up here, and they have a riglet cut where it is a joint cut into the masonry, and the flashing is tucked inside and sealed, and then they have a counter flashing that comes up on it. That's a good way to do it, and really what does work well. Ideally though, this should have a cricket behind it, a cricket is just simply a little hip roof that will come out here and deflect down on either side. Therefore, the water as it comes down the roof will be deflected down and away from the chimney structure itself, and it would really prolong this joint from having damage and moisture buildup and movement in the structure would be minimized. Okay, so these bricks here now that we're looking at are just not a good fire-hardened brick. They aren't really a good solid brick. They're light clay, and they just disintegrate over time. And the enemy is just the moisture. It just deteriorates it. So this is really important that a brick like this on this type of a structure be waterproofed on a semi-annual basis. Like I said, probably every 2 to 5 years. It would really be a benefit and prolong the life of this structure, minimize mold and mildew and that musty smell you wind up a lot of times with in your house. Okay, what we're going to be looking at here today is this is a masonry chimney. This is an old 1920s structure. And if you take a look at the lower, between the lower roof line and the boxed in soffit area, the mortar joints are still nice and full and the mortar's still reasonably white. And then if you go up to the top part of the chimney, you'll notice if you take a look at those mortar joints how they're really recessed, where over the years the mortar has deteriorated due to weathering, due to the rain, and the elements have just deteriorated those mortar joints. And if you look at the black tar ring they have around it, that's your counter flashing. That eventually at some point needs to be stripped out or a counter flashing put on it to keep that roof area underneath from leaking, or the actual flashing will stop the leaks. But that chimney at this point should probably be cleaned out, the joints ground out, and repoint it, or at the very least it should be waterproof with some type of a clear sealant. Alright, here we are taking a look at another chimney. This is a great situation to take a look at where water has penetrated and it's just a poor maintenance issue. We're going to take a look up. This is about a 15-year-old house, and it's wood frame chimney with plywood and stucco. This one now has more serious damage. Now we'll go right up to the top and take a look, and you can see the wood framing up at the very top. And you'll notice where the top widest band has fallen. And if you take a look, you can see that there's lots of rusty, rotten stucco mesh up there. And the corner beads, as you come down the chimney, has just started to peel. The stucco has started to peel away. It's peeling all the way down. Eventually that will have to all be cut out and replaced. And you're getting into quite an expensive project. Now, simple maintenance would have taken care of these. And what we're going to do is we're going to step back and take a quicker look. Cut that. Okay. Now we're taking a look at why this chimney actually has failed. And it isn't so much that the movement of the stucco or the poor maintenance up top. It's more of the chimney cap was not sized correctly. If you look up, that metal cap you see way up high is recessed. It's probably about 2 inches too short. What you're seeing is the wind band. It prevents the wind from hitting, causing downdrafts. But that, where the little legs are about 4 inches high, go up and catch that wind band, that is supposed to be a big metal pan that hooks over the outside of the widest part of the chimney structure up top. And what that does is helps deflect water off the flat surface of the top of the chimney. And when it's not there, you wind up with excess moisture, and it sits up there, and you wind up with the sun causing it to dry up and excess moisture, and you get expansion contraction, and subsequently this is what you wind up with. So folks, if your chimney looks like one of these we've shown you today, give us a call. We'd be glad to come out and inspect yours.